Hello students. In previous session, I have completed general steps involved in rDNA technology or genetic engineering or gene cloning process. There are some short notes expected in exam on the action of enzymes like REN and ligase to obtain rDNA, then suitable cloning vector taking example of PBR322 and its features, then how to make the host cell competent by various methods to accept rDNA and get transformed. Then there are methods in isolating transformants by rejecting non-transformants. There is a short note expected on gel electrophoresis and a descriptive question is expected on polymerase chain reaction. So in this session, let us revise one by one short notes on all these headings. First tool used in genetic engineering is enzyme. Enzymes are necessary for gene splicing. It is a technique where we can take a cloning vector, we can cleave at a particular site using REN to obtain staggered ends, and then we insert the gene of interest. We can ligate it by the action of ligase to obtain rDNA. Thus, two enzymes are necessary here. For cleaving REN, for ligation, ligase. Thus, molecular Caesar is REN, restriction endonucleases. This enzyme is recognizing palindromic sequences. Use a specific restriction site for cleaving the DNA at a targeted point. That's why RENs are known as guided missiles. If we use this REN to cleave the nucleotides from 5' and 3' terminal ends, they are known as exonucleases. When we use the REN as a targeted enzyme which will cleave the DNA within the molecule, then we call them as endonucleases. Ligase is a naturally occurring enzyme in almost all the cells. It is involved in catalyzing the reactions where diester bonds are developing and hydrogen bonds are developing in the DNA molecule. Thus, an active process ligation is catalyzed by an enzyme ligase. Thus, you need to remember genetic Caesar is REN, genetic Stitcher is ligase. Now, when we select the cloning vector, it is extrachromosomal self-replicating double-stranded DNA molecule usually occur in all prokaryotic cells. We call them as plasmid. There is synthetic plasmid obtained by Bolivar and Rodrigues having ORI site, having different cloning sites which are recognized by different RENs, and it has selectable marker gene which will help in tracing the path of rDNA into the host cell, or it will help in identifying the transformants in a culture medium. Thus, structure of PBR322 I already completed in the last session. Coming to the next, once we fragment the DNA, we need to separate these fragments as per the length so that we can find out the gene of interest from those fragmented DNA. There is a technique called gel electrophoresis. Here, the medium used is either agarose gel or polyacrylamide gel. This gel is taken in a tray which is connected by two electrodes, cathode and anode. There are wells made. This technique is usually separating the substance having different ionic properties. Means if we have a mixture of different ions having different charges, we can release them in any one end. So cations and anions will move to opposite ends. Thus we can segregate them according to the charge available. But here in case of separating DNA fragments, remember that every DNA is negatively charged, means charge is already known. Only we need to separate the fragments from each other. So near the cathode end, there are wells. We have to release the DNA fragments And when the electric field is created, they start moving through the gel. They are not visible to our eyes. So we need to add a stain, ethidium bromide. When we expose this tray below UV rays, we can see the orange colored bands. These are nothing but DNA fragments present in that gel medium. There is a technique called elution. It is physical removal of DNA fragment from that gel. So by elution, we can isolate the selected fragment on a special nitrocellulose sheath. Thus, gel electrophoresis helping us in separating the DNA fragments according to their length. Let us come to the next technique called PCR technique. It stands for polymerase chain reaction, used for amplifying the gene into several copies. When the fragment of DNA is taken, it is double-stranded, showing base pairs by hydrogen bonds. When you expose this DNA fragment to high temperature ranging from 94 degrees Celsius to 97 degrees Celsius, due to high temperature, the bonds between purines and pyrimidines will break. So two DNA strands are separated. Now we use them as a templates. Need to bring down the temperature up to 42 degrees Celsius. We need to maintain temperature now between 42 to 47 degrees Celsius. Here, oligonucleotide, it is a primer which containing RNA nucleotides or ribonucleotides. When we release the ribonucleotides, they will go and attach to 3' end. So hybridizing DNA template using RNA primers is known as annealing process. This is second step. Soon after annealing, we need to add deoxyribonucleotide triphosphates. They are DNTPs, energy-rich nucleotides, so that they observe the complementary nucleotide on exposed DNA template and they go on arranging from the primer, which is towards 3' end, and the primer is extended at 72 degrees Celsius towards 5' end. Thus, on both the DNA templates, the primer is extended from 3' to 5' end. Usually at higher temperature, complementarity to form the base pair is not possible. That's why there is one enzyme, TAQ polymerase. It is nothing but DNA polymerase isolated from a bacteria, Thermus aquaticus. These are Archaeobacteria. Comes under group thermoacidophiles. They are present in hot springs. Means their natural phenomena can sustain at higher temperature. So they might have polymerizing or replicating DNA at higher temperature. So DNA polymerase is isolated from Thermus aquaticus. That's why we name as TAQ polymerase. So to extend the primer and to establish the double bonds between purines and pyrimidines, TAQ polymerase will help. It will prevent denaturation. Thus, denaturation, annealing and primer extension will complete one cycle of polymerase chain reaction. Coming to further, there is one device. It is made up of stainless steel and the fiber whose lower part is curved. There is a provision to keep a culture medium or a nutrient medium. We can introduce a stirrer with the flat blade impellers. There is a system to maintain the temperature. There is a system to maintain the pH. There is a provision to give a steam. There is a provision to supply sterile air. And there is a provision to collect the samples at intervals. This device we call it as bioreactors. These bioreactors are used for culturing the transformants so that they can grow easily in the natural nutrient medium. They can clone our DNA, and along with our DNA, gene of our interest is also multiplying. So at the end of the process, we can obtain the gene clones, or we are stimulating the gene of interest to synthesize a protein which is used for human welfare. Thus, Bioreactor is a device to culture microbes to obtain gene clones or products of the gene of interest, or in substrate bioreactors, we have to simply add the substrate along with the enzyme. In a short time at the higher rate, easily substrates can be converted into products. Thus, with these short notes, you need to prepare biotechnology first part, principles and processes. There is one more point you need to remember in this. When the transformants are there in the culture medium along with non-transformants, selecting transformants by antibiotic resistance method, this word you need to remember, or depending upon the vector used, we can use the color reaction method in selecting the transformants. Thus, at the end of principles and processes in genetic engineering, you need to remember 2 principles, 3 tools, 7 steps and these short notes with 2 diagrams of bioreactor. You can refer the book for diagrammatic representation of PCR and diagrammatic representation of bioreactors. With this, I'll conclude the first part in Unit 9, Biotechnology Principles and Processes. In the next few sessions, we are learning applications of biotechnology in the field of agriculture and in the field of medicine. With this, I'll conclude today's session. Thank you very much.